So, in honor of heading to New York City tomorrow for the annual Hot Sauce Expo, I am going to be eating a Chocolate Bhutlah, which I will be chasing with Reapercussion. Reapercussion is made with primo peppers, Trinidad scorpions, apple cider vinegar, water, lime, garlic, agave, salt, and coriander. Bhutlahs are possibly the hottest pepper. Given that they're about 50% larger than a Reaper, I would suggest there is probably more capsaicin in this than a Reaper. I'm just looking at a message from a friend who's one of the three people this video is actually for. He has no idea I'm making this video right now, talking about his brother telling him he couldn't possibly handle Mad Dog 357. This guy's got a much higher tolerance than I do. Smells like nothing. Oh, this is gonna burn. There's so much seed in this. A seed party in my mouth. Swallowed. Whew. This has too much seed in it too. Oh. It's a warm pepper. them. Can barely speak. Headphones are just so I can listen to something without getting flagged by YouTube. Honestly, eating the pepper straight is not as bad as chopping it up and putting it into some soup. This way it's over much faster. There it goes every inch of your mouth, your throat. And just keeps punching at the dick over and over. This is bad, but that was much worse. I chopped up a Bhutlah and put it in my soup last night. It was savage. Much more painful than this. Even with the teaspoon of Reapercussion I chased it with. I will say this, flavor-wise, I prefer this to the Reaper quite a bit. There's just so much seeds in this, it's hard to eat, but much nicer flavor. Much less bitter. Somewhat fruity. Oh man. Speaking makes it worse. Really want to drink something, but that just looks like I got some seeds stuck in my mouth. Once the heat's gone, I'll swish these seeds out. I mean, the heat's definitely dying down now. Very tasty pepper. Great in food. Bhutlahs were a huge part of me building the tolerance I have right now. They're just savage. And they're so big. My next pepper video is going to be a direct Bhutlah versus Reaper comparison. Basically, I'm just going to chop up a Bhutlah, chop up a Reaper, weigh out a gram of each, taste it, and then taste again. I wouldn't do a pod by pod for two reasons. One, so much heat that it's going to take forever before I'd be able to test the next one. And then it would be hard to really compare fairly. Two, Bhutlah being about 50% bigger than a Reaper. I've weighed them out. Bhutlahs are about 7 grams. A Reaper, about 5 grams. It's not quite 50% bigger, but close. This wouldn't be a fair comparison. I think now it would be fair for me to wash the seeds and bits out of my mouth. Seriously though, a pod on its own, nowhere near as bad as if you take that same pod and mix it into a warm soup. Because this pod, it was gone in like 30 seconds. And when I swallowed it, it only could hit a little bit of my throat. A soup, you're coating the whole throat. And with the pod, no matter how much I chew it, and I chewed it for a while, I'm not going to get all the heat out. With a soup, it just soaks in. The whole thing becomes the devil's favorite playground. But yeah, at this point, I don't expect much pain to be coming my way. It's tapering down now, and the video is just going to be boring and drawn out if I keep going. I did eat before this so that it wouldn't give me a gut bomb. Had a sandwich. But yeah, there's a Bhutlah and chasing it with a little Reapercussion in honor of heading to the Hot Sauce Expo this weekend.